Here you go, she's here, with her Welshness for your ears, to read you what you think is nice, whether calm or funny or maybe spice. Her dog by her side calling cooches down, and Poppy, her old cat, curls up all round. In the evening, in the daytime, Welsh lady reads to you anytime. She'll crack you up, she'll make you cry, you'll be wearing pants that are left undry. She's your very own Welsh lady, and she's here to make you laugh, make you smile, make you weep, even send you off to sleep. Her family are sheep. Oh, she's Welsh Lady Reads. Yes, she's Welsh Lady Reads. You know you mean so much to her. She tells you in her comments here. She may sometimes struggle, she may fight, but chat is who gives her her might. Just don't cause the dragon flames, as then she's not playing games. In the evening, in the evening, in the daytime, Welsh lady reads to you anytime. She'll crack you up, she'll make you cry, you'll be wearing pants that are left undry. She's your very own Welsh lady, and she's here to make you laugh, make you smile, make you weep, even send you off to sleep. Her family are sheep. Oh, she's Welsh Lady Reads. Yes, she's Welsh Lady Reads. You know you mean so much to her. She tells you in her comments here. She may sometimes struggle, she may fight, but chat is who gives her her might. Just don't cause the dragon flames, as then she's not playing games. In the evening, in the evening, in the daytime, Welsh lady reads to you anytime. She'll crack you up, she'll make you cry, you'll be wearing pants that are left undry. She's your very own Welsh lady, and she's here to make you laugh, make you smile, make you weep, even send you off to sleep. Her family are sheep. Oh, she's Welsh Lady Reads. Yes, she's Welsh Lady Reads. Oh, she's your Welsh Lady Reads.
Hello chat, nice to be back with you. I'm so sorry for the delay. Yes, lots of people asking still how I am. Just gonna say still the same. But I thought I would give it a go again today and try and see if we can get some reading on the go. I hope you're all doing well. I've missed you all. I mean, I know I've seen you in and out of chats and, chatted with you that way, but just from me hearing from me and my own voice, I just want you to know that I have missed you a lot. And so I remember a while back now, and I don't know whether you do, but I put it on my community tab, and I asked if anybody wanted to pick from a few different stories, and the most popular one that came back was about stories from Scotland Yard. So I found a book, and I'm gonna read this book to you today. I thought we'll see how we get on with it, and if it's any good. So yeah, please give this stream a like and subscribe. If you're new here, welcome to. Thank you for coming to me from wherever you've come from, whether it be a channel or you've just come upon me in another way. Thank you for being here, and let me pre-warn you, my cat's on a wild one, alright? Poppy is doing the I don't know, it's not even a night time yet, so I can't say it's a full moon, but she's just meowing for no reason, which she doesn't meow normally, and running around and jumping like a lunatic. Colin's been out today, that's the Italian Greyhound. He's been out today with my other dog Coach, and has done her head in. So he's come home now and he's crashed out, but he is so tired. So Poppy and Colin are all okay, and they're all well. Pop's by the side of me now, so hopefully she'll just cuddle on down, or cwtch on down, as we say in Wales. And let's take a look at this book then. So this is what the prologue says. London, 1889. Nobody noticed when Inspector Christian Little of Scotland Yard disappeared, and nobody was looking for him when he was found. Hang on, I got my head around that. Nobody was looking for him when he was disappeared. Oh, right, I get it now. Good start, chat. Good start, yeah. A black steamer trunk appeared at Euston Square Station, sometimes during the night, and remained unnoticed until early afternoon on the following day. The porter discovered it after the 1 o'clock train had departed, and opened the trunk when it proved too heavy for him to lift. He immediately sent a boy to find the police. Detective Inspector Walter Day was first at the scene, and he directed the many police officers who arrived after him. He had come to London only the week before. Oh, well, that's a nice welcome, isn't it? This was his first crime scene, and he was clearly nervous, but the blue-uniformed bobbies knew their job well and did not require much from him. They pushed back the passengers who had gathered round the trunk and began to scour the station for possible weapons and other clues. An hour later, Dr. Bernard Kingsley rushed into the station and headed for the knot of people gathered in the gallery of the booking office. The trunk had been left against the railing overlooking the platform. Kingsley brushed past Inspector Day and knelt on the floor. He opened his satchel and drew out a cloth tape measure, sneaked it between his fingers, moving it up and down and across. The trunk was a standard size 2x3x3, glossy black with tin rivets along the seams. He closed the lid and brushed a finger across the top of the dust. It was clean. no dust. With his magnifying glass in hand, he scuttled around the trunk, scrutinising the corners for wear. He licked his finger and rubbed a seam along one side where black paint had been applied to cover a crack. He was aware of Day hovering over his shoulder, and, less intrusive, the bobbies at the station's entrance pushing back fresh onlookers. The lower classes were always out for a spectacle, while the better off walked briskly past, ignoring the to-do. You might have heard me say that someone's having a to-do. Oh, I heard so-and-so having a to-do up the road the other day. They must say they're having a row or something's going on, so we're ignoring the to-do. His preliminary examination out of the way, Kingsley opened and shut the trunk's lid several times, listening to the hinges, then eased it back up until the edge of the lid rested against the floor. He peered into the trunk for a long moment, ignoring the sickly sweet odour of death. I've never heard of being described as sickly sweet before. I've heard of being described as the most horrendous thing you'll ever smell. But sickly sweet? That's all like jars of honey and stuff, isn't it? Ugh. Sorry, it's giving me the bleh. The body inside was folded in on itself, knotted and mashed. I'm sorry. Sixth sense of humour, you know me. Knotted and mashed into the too small space like so much laundry. Hey, I just realised. They did a Sarah Boone, didn't they? Whoever's the perpetrator. One shoe was missing, and Kingsley presumed it was somewhere at the bottom of the trunk underneath the body. The man's suit was made of gabardine, the hem slightly worn, dirt pressed into the creases. His arms and legs were broken and wrapped around each other. Kingsley took a pair of tongs from his satchel and used them to move an arm out of the way in order to see the man's face. The skin was pearl grey, and the eyes and mouth were sewn shut with heavy thread. The pattern of parallel stitches, like train tracks across the lips. Kingsley looked up at Day. When he spoke, his voice was low and measured. "Have you identified him yet?" Day shook his head. "It's one of you," Kingsley said. "One of me?" "The body is that of a detective. This is Inspector Little." Day backed away to the railing and held up his hands, warding off the unpleasant thought. It can't be. I spoke with Little just last evening. Kingsley shrugged. It's not that I doubt you, but Inspector Little. Come and see for yourself, Kingsley said. Day stared at him. I said, come here, please. He said, of course. Day approached the trunk and swallowed hard before looking down. Breathe through your mouth, Mr. Day. The odour isn't pleasant. Day nodded, panting heavily. I suppose it is Mr. Little. But what have they done to him? You can see what's been done. The question is, why has it been done? It's inhuman. It's inhumane. I'm afraid it's all too human. Cut those off him, get that off his face. We can't have a detective of the yard dressed up like a Christmas goose, for God's sake. One of the uniformed constables standing at the rail looked up. Within a 5-yard radius there was a dead detective in a trunk, and a station full of citizens who didn't care that he had been murdered, just so long as they got a chance to see him. Day could see from the look in the constable's eyes that he had no idea why he was doing this dangerous job for little money and no respect. In that single moment, from the expression on the constable's face, Day understood that London needed her police. But did not care about them. And he saw too that this newfound discovery was something that every policeman on that platform already understood. The morale of the Metropolitan Police Force had reached its lowest point during the Ripper murders of the previous year, and had not yet recovered. The files, Whitechapel murders, had not been closed. The case was still ongoing, but nobody in London trusted the police to do their job. Jack had escaped, and the detectives of the yard had never even come close to finding him. The unsolved case was a harsh reminder of the fallibility, and it hung over their heads. Every morning when they walked through the door of the back hall, the Ripper was still out there somewhere, and it was likely that he would remain out there. Kingsley stood up and rested a hand on Day's shoulder. When he spoke, his voice was barely audible. I will most assuredly make Inspector Little presentable again. There will be a time and a place to mourn him. Here and now, you must fix your mind on justice. It is not outside the realm of possibility that Little's killer is watching us, and your demeanour may set the course for the investigation to come. You must appear to be strong and rational. Day nodded. To work then, Kingsley said. He grabbed a handle and lifted one end of the trunk, grunted and set it back down. Inspector Day, he said. You look like an able fellow. Lift this end, would you? Where shall I put it? Not the entirety of the trunk. Just pull upward on the handle and get this thing off the ground a bit, would you? Kingsley removed his hat and set it on a bench along the far wall of the gallery. He draped his coat over the arm of the bench and strode back to where Day had an end of the trunk lifted off the ground. The two men were a study in contrasts. Dr. Kingsley was short and thin, with sharply chiselled features and wild, prematurely grey hair that matched his eyes. Inspector Day was tall and built like an ox, through the chest and shoulders. Like him like that, I do. His short dark hair was combed back from his wide forehead, and his expression was permanently helpful, as if he were in search of an old lady he might escort across the street. He displayed the easy physical confidence that some big men had, but his features were fine and sensitive, and his eyes were sad. Kingsley found it impossible to dislike the young detective. "Higher, would you?" Kingsley said. "That's better." He got down on his hands and knees and crawled underneath the trunk. Day straining above him, it didn't occur to him that Day might drop the trunk on his head. Men like Day used their brains to move their muscles about. Their muscles were useful enough. I'm saying nothing to that chat, but you know what's going through my head. Kingsley inspected the planks of the platform, peering into the crevices in the ancient wood, worn smooth by the shoes of countless travellers. "Aha," he said. He scrambled backwards until his head was clear of the bottom of the trunk and stood up, using one hand to smooth his waistcoat over his stomach. The thumb and the index finger of his other hand were pinched together, and he held them up to the light. Day squinted. "It's a hair," he said. "No, lad, it's a thread. This end is frayed a bit where it's been cut. Here, you see? The same thread used to sew his mouth and eyes. His eyes were sewn as well. Ooh, different colour. That was black. This is dark blue. It could be a coincidence. Someone lost a thread from a coat, perhaps, but I don't think so. I think your killer came prepared with at least 2 colours of thread. And why would that be?" He abruptly dropped to the ground and began to crawl around the platform, his magnifying glass playing over the surface, his long fingers poking into the corners where the wall joined the planks of the floor. After several minutes, during which the onlookers behind the railing began to grow restless, Kingsley murmured an exclamation and held his finger up to the light. A drop of blood formed on his fingertip, and Kingsley smiled. He sucked the blood from his finger and turned. Oh, I'm glad this is his own blood. I thought he put his. I had visions then. I thought he'd put his hand on blood from the victim and then sucked his. Yeah, that would have been twisted. But listen, I've got a twisted mind. I've seen twisted things. He sucked the blood from his finger and turned his magnifying glass around, using the blunt handle to scrape dirt away from the wall. He stood and trotted back to where Day stood, still holding up the end of the trunk. Kingsley held out his hand, displaying his find for Day to see. "Needles," Day said. Kingsley grinned. 3 needles, Inspector Day. 3, where one might do. I'd say our killer's made a telling mistake. Give me your handkerchief. It's in my breast pocket. I don't see one there. I may have come out without it today. Kingsley nodded and turned to the nearest constable. "You there, have you a handkerchief?" A tall, lanky constable looked up from the side of the platform where he seemed to be scanning the crowd. His eyes were bright and intelligent and nearly hidden behind long feminine lashes. He jumped slightly at the sound of Kingsley's voice. "What's your name?" Kingsley said. "Hammersmith, sir." "You sound Welsh." "It's just Hammersmith." "Oh, yes, sir." Oh, I honestly, Chad, I didn't know. I haven't read this, so we got a Welshie. Oh, well, you got the accent to go with the Welshie. You're watching the crowd. What the detective said about it being another detective in the box. it surprised people. You were looking to see who was among that crowd, but wasn't surprised, who might have already known there was a detective in the trunk. Yes, sir. And I didn't see anything unexpected. Kingsley nodded. Still, he said, it was a worthy idea. How long have you been with the force? 2 years, sir. I'm surprised I haven't made your acquaintance before this. I shall watch your career with interest. Now I wonder if I might borrow your handkerchief. Of course, sir. Thank you, Mr. Hammersmith. Kingsley took the offered handkerchief and glanced at it. He looked up at the constable. This is not particularly clean. I apologise, sir. I've been at it now for I've been at it now for 2 shifts. That was my daughter doing something or another? Changing things around in her room by the sounds of it. Anyway, that is not particularly clean. I apologise, sir. I've been at it now for 2 shifts and I haven't had a chance to launder anything. That's a Welsh saying. I've been at it. Been at it now for ages. Indeed, Hammersmith looked sloppy. His blue uniform was wrinkled. His shirt was untucked on one side, and the end of his hems of the trousers were muddy. There was a hangdog air about him, but in his body language and bearing, somehow, let me repeat that, because I got a bit tied up on the word hangdog. There was a hangdog air about him, but in his body language and bearing he somehow gave the impression of utter competence. Yes, well, thank you, Hammersmith. I shall return this as soon as I possibly can. Of course, sir. Kingsley wrapped the needles in the soiled square of cloth. He tucked the handkerchief and the short piece of blue thread into his waistcoat pocket to be examined later. This one is a challenge, a real challenge. Kingsley smiled and scanned the platform one last time, barely taking in the crowd of onlookers. Wonderful, he said. Simply wonderful. You can let that down now. Day eased the end of the heavy trunk back to the platform floor and breathed a sigh of relief. Have 2 of the men bring that round to the college, Kingsley said. I want to examine Little's body, but I'm not going to do it here. Have the rest of your constables search the platform carefully for a man's left shoe. I suspect it's in the trunk, but there's no harm in putting them to work. Kingsley shrugged back into his coat, picked up his hat and walked away. Halfway to the far edge of the platform, he turned, walked back to where Day still stood. He leaned in and whispered so the onlookers wouldn't overhear. Shut the lid on that trunk, he said. We don't want that rabble ogling a dead detective. So this is chapter 1. So I think I'll put this out as a prologue first to see if you're interested, chat. And if so, let me know in the comments, and I'll continue reading this book at the yard and see how we go. I'm quite looking forward to it, so might be something that you can help me with. That would be lovely. Just hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and please just double check your subscriptions, because it's telling me that 70% are not subscribed, and I don't want that to be you and then you're missing any of the stories, okay? But obviously, you know, it's our cutchy place. You come here when you need it, when you need 5 minutes, if you're frustrated, if you're in pain and need some distraction, if you just fancy a chillax, you know, just pop on over to Welsh Lady's place and have a read. And let me know in the comments, say, yes, continue with this, or no, I'm not interested. I will not be offended. Honestly, I've got other books planned for the channel already, because there's been a long hiatus on this channel, and I've got a lot planned, so this might not be the book for you, but there might be other books continuously going alongside it that you might like, or you might be more interested in. So yeah, thumbs up, chat, and don't forget, I missed you. I'm glad you're here, and have a cup of tea. Ta-da!
She's Welsh Lady Reads. Yes, she's Welsh Lady Reads. Oh, she's your Welsh Lady Reads.